Good afternoon, Western Washington, and happy Tuesday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and we've got a pretty nice day on tap across the area today. We'll continue to take a look at the heat wave forecast and the forecast for the next few days coming up here. Starting with the satellite imagery, you can see it is mostly clear across Western Washington today. One thing to notice is this big fire down in central Oregon called the Cram Fire. It burnt 30,000 acres yesterday and is continuing to grow dramatically, as you can see by that smoke plume there. Looks like we got another fire here near Klickitat County there. We got a couple other fires across parts of the area, but these two are going to be the ones to watch over the next weeks or so in terms of smoke impacts, though it doesn't look to be bad at this time. We'll take a look at that more later. Starting here, I wanted to point out we do have a heat advisory in effect for hot temperatures these next couple days for all of the lowlands here. You can see our new forecast zones showing more accurate depiction of where that heat is most likely to be. And then you can see this brown color here, this light brown color here is a fire weather watch for the Cascades as we have high fire danger, which we'll take a look at in just a moment here. Taking a look at our overall pattern, you can see we've got ridging that is dominating the area. We have a little bit of troughing that moves through later this week into this weekend, but it is too far away to really produce any impacts. You can see as we go into Friday and Saturday there, the ridging backs off and we get this trough moving through the area through Saturday and Sunday, which will bring some cooler temperatures there. You can see that trough really opens up over parts of eastern Washington, but it doesn't bring much in the way of rain, just some cooler temperatures for a few days. And that lingers as we go into next week. We remain on the cooler side, but then there is a little bit more ridging building in, and the forecast gets a bit more uncertain after that. So taking a look, this is total precipitation. I put this all the way out through nearly the end of the month, and you can see this kind of shows our overall pattern. A bit possible on the coast, up toward 0.2 of an inch. Maybe some thunderstorms at times across parts of eastern Washington, but overall, look at the lowlands, a couple hundredths of an inch of rain at most, which is not a good thing to see as we look through the entire rest of July here. So we'll continue watching this. We may get a little bit more rain if some of these patterns trend, or we could get even less. So this will definitely be something to watch, but it shows that we are definitely on the dry side here. Now let's take a look at what we all want to talk about, those temperatures. You can see highs today are going to be pretty hot. You can see Seattle at 87 degrees, Portland 94, Olympia 90, Tacoma 88, and even up toward Vancouver. You can see in the lower mainland of BC up in the upper 80s to low 90s, and Bellingham checking in at 85 there. You got a little bit of offshore flow warming up there. So you can see Seattle northward highs in the low 80s to low 90s. Seattle southward highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. The coast highs in the mid 70s to low 80s. And you can see from Olympia southward toward Portland highs in the upper 80s to mid 90s. Take a look at Wednesday, though. That is going to be our hottest day. You can see from Seattle northward have highs in the low 80s to low 90s. Again, maybe some mid 90s east of I-5. You can see from Seattle southward, those highs are in the low to mid 90s. A few upper 90s, not out of the question for some of the outlying areas. You can see from Olympia down toward Portland, highs in the mid to upper 90s, may near 100 degrees for Portland. You can see on the coast, we cool a little bit there with highs dropping into the low to mid 70s there on Wednesday. Take a look at Thursday here. Those temperatures continue to drop on the coast back to the mid 60s to low 70s. From Seattle northward, highs drop to the upper 70s to mid 80s. And then from Seattle southward, highs remain in the mid to upper 80s and then near 90 again from Olympia down toward Portland. And you can see as we go into Friday, we cool further the coast down to the mid to upper 60s. And in the lowlands, you have highs Seattle northward in the mid 70s to low 80s. Seattle southward in the upper 70s to mid 80s. And then Southwest Washington and the Willamette Valley in the upper 80s. And then take a look as we go into Saturday, we cool down even more and more clouds being introduced into the area at this time as well. Highs drop on the coast to the low to mid 60s. In the lowlands, we're in the low to mid 70s, maybe a few upper 70s for the metro area. You can see from Olympia down toward Portland, highs in the mid 70s to low 80s. And then take a look at Sunday. We cool down a little bit more. Highs remain in the mid 60s on the coast. Lowlands in the low to mid 70s. And then Olympia southward toward Portland. Highs in the mid 70s to low 80s yet again. And as we go into Monday and Tuesday there, you can see generally similar, maybe a tad uptrend there as we go toward Tuesday. But overall, we will get more pleasant temperatures after we get through these few hot days here. So then I wanted to point this out again, relative humidity. This is looking at Wednesday afternoon as we have temperatures in the 90s across western Washington. You can have humidity down toward 20%. Fire danger is extremely high. Look at the east winds causing humidity down toward 10% in Portland, 10 to 15 there. the fire danger is off the charts for brush fires and stuff like that with these type of humidity numbers here. So you just got to be really careful all across the area. Fires can spread rapidly, and it doesn't even need to be something very big. We've seen like some brush fires in Maple Valley that required air support and stuff like that. So it's just very important to be vigilant and to not burn if you can help it. And in a lot of places there is a burn ban as well. And that fire weather watch in effect for the Cascades, highlighting the even higher fire danger for wildfires and stuff in the mountains. So just something to keep in mind, and please do not burn if you can help it. And then also, let's take a look here. Vertically integrated smoke. This is smoke aloft. You can see the fires here in southern British Columbia, and then the Cram fire down there in central Oregon. You can see how these do produce a decent amount of smoke, but not much of it is getting into western Washington as we go through the next couple days, which is nice to see. And then you can see as we get to Wednesday and that flow switches to back onshore, that smoke is pushed east most likely, and that is going to keep our air pretty clear. You can see, taking a look at 8 meters above ground smoke, so this is near surface smoke. You can see we don't get very much, maybe a tiny bit of near surface smoke there early Wednesday there, and you can see overall this smoke that is near the surface is relegated to areas near the fires or just downwind. So we'll continue to watch this, as these fires will likely be players in the smoke game as we go through the next few weeks here, and we'll likely get more fires up the Cascades as this hot weather continues. Hopefully we won't, but it's definitely possible. So stay tuned as we continue to look at this, as we continue to watch these fires and the smoke. And one other thing I just wanted to point out, it's been a little bit since we looked at this here on the channel, but the drought monitor has updated. This is the latest update from Thursday, July 10th, and you can see there is pretty significant drought ongoing now across the entirety of Washington State under some sort of drought. Take a look at this D2 severe drought that does include parts of King and Pierce counties. There are a decent amount of King and Pierce counties and most of the Cascades, and then down toward the Portland metro as well. And you're even getting some of that extreme drought sneaking in there to extreme southeast Washington. But overall, the entire state is in drought now. Most of the state in D1, they're moderate drought. And I expect this to only get worse as we go through the rest of this summer and into early fall. So yeah, be sure to subscribe here on Western Washington Weather for more videos about the upcoming pattern and what we're looking at here in terms of the heat and the drought, smoke, and all that kind of stuff. And continue to follow me on Blue Sky, on Twitter, and the Western Washington Weather Facebook group. The links to all of these are in the description. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will talk to you all later.